Sewer Guardians in, and that's going to be it. So they have to play extremely fast because I'm pretty sure they get outscaled here up against PuckChamp, because Muerto is one of those heroes that when she gets like 5-6 items, she's really hard to beat.
Not only do I want tiebreakers, well, I want 3 things. Firstly, I want a game 3, because we've been denied one so far in our series. So I want a game 3. I want tiebreakers, so I'm kind of favoring PuckChamp. But crucially, any team that picks Techies deserves to lose the series. So down with ITB. I don't want to see them get this W. And when do we see? Look at this.
Oh, it's the gate
some
time,
twin
baby.
gate shenanigans. PuckChamp don't have any wards there this time around, though. And they haven't taken over their Watcher like they did in game 1. Probably going to be taken away from them as a result. All right, cool. Nice move from ITB.
Yep, they walk in, they get the Watcher. So it means now that Zube as well as Immersion have a little bit more to play around with in their lane. So it's going to be pretty decent lane, I would say. What are they looking for?
Okay, I thought for a second that Techies was going to go and steal a Bantu. If that happened, I was going to be like, that's way too much value. Like, you can't come bottom, steal a Watcher, and steal a Bounty just before the laning phase starts. Calm down. It'll be too much.
It'll be huge. But these lanes are going to be interesting for me to watch, right? Because Into the Breach, they've got a really good lane in the mid lane. Supreme made a pretty nice meal of the kills he was able to be given in that previous game. Whereas
look,
bottom.
They try laning. We saw this before. Oh, low skill misses the ricochet coming back off the dead shot. They might still have enough damage. The blowback with the blinding light pushes Shibe into damage range. And low skill should be able to claim the kill. Getting the first blood as well for the Muerta. Very nicely done. Now the dead shot didn't go as expected, but we start to see the influence of having blinding lights a little bit earlier. Being able to get the knockback. And I think level 1, level 2, the knockback is superior to the slow, given what you're able to accomplish afterwards.
Yeah, 100%. That was a big relocation of the Underlord, and getting their first couple of kills is very important for them to be able to win out this lane a little bit more than what they had in the previous one. So now that they start off the Muerta with an early couple of levels, an early couple of kills, she's going to be... She does have some really good spells. Like, the Calling as well as Deadshot are insane spells early on. And he can farm really fast with Gunslinger. So if they get low skill off to a good start, he can be a scary hero to deal with.
Low skill. So far, so good in this earlier portion of the game. Getting some okay amount of CS. We don't anticipate things being too scary or too crazy, rather. I think they maybe have one more kill into Immersion if he's ever out of position. But for now, it's just going to be a bit of a farm fest. Shibe, once he gets to the Ring of Health as well, that's all he really wants, and then he can be more or less left alone. He'll have time to keep himself alive. Down bottom, they might kill Kidaro. Immersion had Thunderstrike on him, and I'm kind of surprised Kidaro turned away. They could have gotten the glimpse into a kill here. And Immersion finds himself playing up amongst these Calling Remnants. They just want the glimpse. They got him. He's dead. Kidaro will take the kill. And another good start here in the laning phase. This time around, it's not ITB that are getting these early kills, but it's PuckChamp instead. Yeah.
They're starting out really well here with the aggressive lane with the Disruptor and the Muerta. Just being able to pull them back into the Calling. Deals the damage, does enough for them in the slow as well to be able to get the kills. So nice start here from PuckChamp. They need to continue this for the remainder of the game to be able to pull us to a game number 3. I definitely feel like they've got what it takes to be able to go to a game number 3. I do like both of the drafts from both these two teams. There aren't too many glaring issues. I think Into the Breach are going to struggle to take some towers outside of Exorcism. You know, the Muerta is a really good tower taker with Gunslinger. You know, outside of natural right clickers, so she can definitely take the towers. They can both kind of take Roshan. But yeah, I think this is really going to be about the pickoffs and the team fights for the middle stages of the game.
Also, check this out middle. Loranov versus Supreme. Observer, you know, for the first time ever, I'm drawing attention middle. Most of the time, it's been boring as hell. But this time, Loranov is winning this lane. This should not be happening. Okay. This is one of those situations that's just... This should just not be happening. I wish I was watching this more, actually, because this surprises me deeply. Not just winning, but about a full wave ahead of his compatriot, or his counterpart, rather, on the Death Prophet.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that he's been able to do so well, and he's just gone, you know, Side of Fist and Flame Guard build. He hasn't gone for like any weird shenanigans with like holding her away with the Searing Chains. So
Yeah.
he's doing a really, really good job, and this means that they're going to have a little bit more agency in this game because they're going to be able to play around their Ember Spirit at some point and not have to deal with this scary mid laner.
Phenomenal job being done by Laranov. Making up for how the game went on the Necrophos. Was active enough, did get a couple of big Reaper scythe kills, but only a couple. Wasn't like the game changer that we're hoping it would be. One of the heroes that did also help change game number 1 was the Legion Commander. This time around, she's sitting on the top lane. But before we talk about her, we have to talk about Shibe, who might die down bottom, dragged back into the calling, and will die. Immersion came in to try and save him, but will just be giving up his own life. More gold into the low skill pockets, 2 heroes down. That's 4 deaths that they've suffered in the bottom lane. ITB not finding the success that they found in game 1 on that side of the map.
Yeah, Moisa's off to a rip-roar of a start. The fact that she's level 4 now as well. Got an item coming out, like you can go like the Mask of Madness build. Supreme, oh, almost got a solo kill onto Lorinov in the middle lane, but you're starting off so well with Muerta that the fact that, you know, Underlord is just level 3 here. There's level 3 on Kadaro or Immersion. You hate to see it. He just
glimpse back home,
man.
Feels
Yeah,
bad.
he got glimpsed all the way back home.
Feels bad. Game is hard. And Kidaro has raindrops, so he won't even die to the Firestorm in revenge. Game is hard. Well, the one bright spot for ITB is that the CS leader on the map is Oteka on this Dawnbreaker, who's trying to aggress into Lays right now. Finds the Starbreaker, but it's not going to be good enough to get a kill. Sweet and strong. Getting a blast through, and here's Respect with the Battery Assault. They know there's no more blinding light, so they can actually get the full duration of the spell. They should find Lays, but Lays able to juke through the trees here. Otaka forced to use the Selly Hammer to chase him down, but that'll be good enough to find the kill.
Yeah, I thought the blood grenades were going to be able to turn that around. Oh, Immersion, he missed the blast off in the middle lane. But they deal enough damage already. If that blast off hit, he dies, 100%. Because they blast off, sticky bomb him, and get the right clicks from Supreme. So, a little unfortunate there from Immersion that he did miss. So, they're starting to pull this game back a little bit here, but, you know, the way that PuckChamp have started out this game have put themselves in a really good spot. They just need to transition that into a mid game, right? Like that's the one issue that I've got so far is seeing that transition in towards the mid game, seeing that transition in towards some of these objectives.
Bottom lane. Do you see that they might try to make another jump onto one of these heroes if they reveal themselves? But they're now playing a lot more carefully on the side of ITB. See how close they're playing to these tree lines. Only just trying to disjoint vision from Kidaro. He's actually the carrier of this lane. They don't care about Muerta. They're like, where's Kidaro at? And what do we want to see build-wise from this Dawnbreaker? We used to see like Echo Saber into Deso, BKB, as like the primary build-up and carry Dawnbreaker. Have things changed, or that's still going to be the way things go here?
Yeah, I definitely feel like you want to get like Deso, Echo Saber. The fact that she has Harpoon available to her now is a pretty big up for this hero as a carry, because you really want Echo Saber, and the one issue is, you know, Echo Saber was kind of just a dismantle tool to go in towards BKB, but now you can build it in towards Harpoon, where you can Celestial Hammer towards people and then still pull them closer to you.
I'm gonna just try and get the quick kill. Well, this will help with the pickup of these items if we have the additional gold. Sticky Bomb will do some damage. They're keeping him in place with the Battery Assault, and they will be able to find the kill. The question is, do they get out as well? Respect, definitely not going to be the case for you, my friend. And Laranov considering keeping the chase going with Sweet and Strong also being in the cut. But they decide not to. If it was Kidaro, they definitely glimpse back Immersion. But they'll take it, I guess. Not great to lose your Legion Commander, but he did buy out all his items before he died, so he doesn't lose out all that much for himself.
Yeah, I thought they were going to try and turn with like the Solar Guardian, just put the Solar Guardian on top of Respect and hopefully he stays alive, but they just sent Otaka back towards the base, and now he just gets to make the nice little walk through the mines, the mighty mines, and make his way back towards the lane, whereas you see a fight middle.
Yeah, they really want to stop them pushing on this tower. And here comes the Ember Spirit. You could actually find 2 kills here. Gonna be able to pick up the 1 on Respect at the very least. In the meantime, they bring in Otaka with the Solar Guardian to ensure that they can kill Lays. So 1-for-1, off-laner for support, just as what happened in the top lane. But Kitaro has glimpse. They bring back Supreme. There's no more exorcism, but there is still an additional charge on the Spirit Siphon. They utilize it to keep Supreme alive. They just do not have the damage on the 2 supports. And nor does Larenov. So DP just does DP things. God, watching this hero can be so annoying sometimes. But nonetheless, it allows ITB to keep this game instead. Although PuckChamp did make sure that the exorcism didn't do too much damage on the tower.
Yeah, they defended their tier 1 tower really, really well. And now they're going to try and get a kill here on a Zibe bottom. Oh, nice.
Oh, he's dead.
Shot.
He's so dead. He's so dead, dude. He's so dead. The glimpses here from Kitaro doesn't actually have enough damage with the Thunder Strike until the very last tick, but it still gets the kill. Kitaro does die to immersion, jumping in with the blast off, but they don't really care. They got the kill onto this Underlord. They're about to finish off the Maelstrom for low skill. So Mans is getting really, really farmed on this Muerta. And there it goes. Maelstrom on the way. Low skill just getting bigger and bigger on the map.
Yeah, he's hitting his nice little spike here. But again, this is one of those heroes that can be quite volatile. I feel like that she does require a decent amount of items to be scary. Especially when it comes to her positioning as well.
Speaking of positioning, 2 heroes got caught by the Searing Chains. Larenov with the Flame Guard, able to bring down Respect. Supreme this time around doesn't actually have charges on the Spirit Siphon. They're only replenishing in about 5 seconds, so you could actually die here. No! Larenov, wrong way! Go for the fight, my friend! Oh, no. Larenov lost his nerve at the very last moment. He gets jumped on right now. They do not connect with the blast off. Sticky Bomb did do some damage, though. Immersion will get hit by a blast from Sweet and Strong, which will bring him down after being held in place by the Searing Chains. They came so close to killing this DP, but they didn't know exactly how many charges she had left. We have the tooltip information. They don't necessarily have this bird's eye view, so playing safe when you're in your back against the wall, do or die situation probably makes sense for PuckChamp.
Yeah, 100%. Especially because Larenov knows that he's the one that has started out really well on this map, as well as his Muerta. So if they're able to stay alive and win these fights, especially with an Ember Spirit against a Death Prophet, then they're going to be in a good spot to be able to play the mid game and play it well. So Lightning Phase has basically dissolved at this point. People are just going to be sitting back and farming whatever creeps they can find.
Yep.
And we're just looking at Zibe here, who's done a really, really good job at keeping himself in this lane to constantly pressure out the Muerta and force her towards bottom as well.
Up top, they might get a first dual kill of the game. The duel a little bit premature here, and there's the Solar Guardian. You mentioned it in the draft on how it's an anti-dual tech. They utilize it and should be able to maybe get a counter kill onto Lays, but Otaka doesn't want to keep that full chase going. Larenov in the meantime will have a Sleight of Fist in 2 seconds. Should be more than enough to kill Respect. And indeed it is. Killing spree for the Ember Spirit. And Otaka will have Echo Saber fairly shortly. Yet again, we have a draft where neither lineup outside of this Death Prophet really has an easy time pushing towers. So when Exorcism is used, that does mean that there's no real place for these towers to get sieged on. Like, look at this, dude. Look at, actually, the lowest tower is the mid one at like less than half HP. Every other tier 1 tower in the game is hella healthy right now.
Yeah, nobody's really been able to pressure it, because I don't think anybody's really had that much of an advantage in the lane either. Like, bottom side, Zibe's able to just push it out with Firestorm. Low skill has Deadshot, and as well as his Gunslinger, so like he's going to be able to push waves fast. Larenov is able to Sleight of Fist and Flame Guard away a lot of these creep waves. You've got overwhelming odds for Lays in the top lane, then you've got Celestial Hammer and Starbreaker in the top lane for Otaka as well. So a lot of these different heroes have good ways of dealing with creep waves and dealing with them fast. So it's going to be hard for a lot of these people to be able to push into these towers early on until we start seeing a few more of these items and a few more of these team fights starting to be won.
I feel really bad for Otaka because the Aghanim shot on Dawnbreaker is actually insanely good. But given how Aghanim shots drop right now from the Tormentors, you're not going to get one anytime soon. Might have to spend your own gold. Feels bad. Feels bad.
I think it definitely is good enough to be able to buy it. It is a little worse into the Disruptor because Glimpse can still, like, the duration of Glimpse is generally pretty long. So you using the Starbreaker, you can't just like freely break the Glimpse, right? Like, you need to actually time it properly. which is going to be annoying for the Dawnbreaker to try and play with.
Question I have, actually.
See.
Since the Starbreaker on the Dawnbreaker shard gives you 50% magic resist, if you pop it during BKB, do you get 100% magic resist or do you get 75%?
Oh, that is a question I'm not smart enough to answer. I have no idea. I don't know how magic resist from multiple different debuff immunities stack, or whether if they do or not. So potentially, but it could also potentially give you 0.
There's a reason I ask it in that fashion. As bottom, we see Respect getting killed. They dropped like a portal here from the Underlord. Oh no, they didn't. They didn't. Just a sound effect, or the effect of the Twin Gate. The reason I ask is because according to the patch notes, right, several like sources of magic resistance now stack additively rather than multiplicatively. So in the previous iteration of this game, it was guaranteed going to just be 75% as middle. They get a quick kill onto Respect. It's not going to be a dual kill, of course, because we have Solar Guardian to protect Respect. The question is, can they take the subsequent fight? As they have no more mana left on the LC, she's soon about to have no more life. Hookshot as well, going onto Kidaro. They jump onto him with the Clockwork. Respect, making sure that they turn the gank onto him into a very big outplay from the side of ITB as they brought in several reinforcements. They really wanted Respect's life, but they're not going to find it. Rod of Atos now revealed in by this Death Prophet, thrown in onto Sweden Strong, and they get the kill. They're actually buying 2 Rod of Atoses, as we have one being built up by Shibe as well. We see a big play by Laranov to steal away the regen rune. Doesn't get silenced on the way out, so he's going to be perfectly safe to make that play.
Yep. Big rotation there from into the breach. They're really able to turn that gank around and hold on to their own tower and hold on to their heroes' lives. And this is what I talked about with the Solar Guardian. It's so hard for you to get these kills until you have like burst damage to be able to take them down, because Solar Guardian, with the levels that Otaka gets just from farming, it's just so hard for you to heal through, 70 HPS at level 2. Like it's kind of crazy the amount of healing that it can do. And if you're able to keep them alive, then it means that Laze isn't able to get back into the game with some of these kills, and then he falls further and further behind. And then Celestial Guardian, Solar Guardian feels a whole lot better every single time that you do use it. So now that it's on cooldown, this is a good time for PuckChamp to try and get a fight going. But again, they just haven't been able to find the members just yet. Brought Supreme bottom as well, and you touched on the fact that there's double Rod of Atos. That was one issue they had, was some of their lockdown was a bit hard to use.
Oh, they actually get the glimpse back onto Supreme, into the status dome, and he pop goes. Whoa, that was so much damage. He jumped into the calling. Absolutely no chance to play there. Laze, he wants a dual kill. This would pretty much give him the gold he needs to pick up a young Blink Dagger. Kidaro, can he find a kinetic field? Not just yet. Searing Chains will hold the techies in position, and they glimpse back Shibe. There should be 2 kills being picked up here, one of them being a dual kill. Laze picks up Shibe's life. Immersion will get dropped by a low skill. And now it's PuckChamp's turn to play very well as a team. Catching ITB in the slight window before they had access to the Solar Guardian again. It just came back as that fight finished, but very good timing from PuckChamp to find the window and open it up.
Yeah, I don't even know if Solar Guardian would have helped Supreme there. Like, he got blown to pieces. He got pulled into the Static Storm, pulled into the Pierce the Veil, and you can just see the amount of magic damage that Muerta can able to put out when their ultimate is available. So, low skill is in a good spot to be able to carry this game. It's all about the rest of this mid game though. What happens when Zibe's got a lot more of his tank items online? What happens when Supreme's got BKB? What happens when this mid game starts to become much more about the 5v5 team fights rather than these, 1-2 ganks that go your way?
Well, they're thinking about that part of the game. Almost have the Spirit Vessel for Sweden Strong. And there's some slight posturing mid as if they want to try something. Instead, they go bottom. Oh no, Immersion. Dude, poor Immersion. Laranov is not going to give him any quarter this game. There will be a Pit of Malice and a Solar Guardian coming in. Rod of Atos. Oh no, it was a trap! Every time! Oh no, mega kill streak ended. It's Otaka that gets the gold as well. Worst case scenario here, Fluke. The one hero you don't want getting extra gold is now halfway towards having the second Myth Hammer for the Desolator.
Exactly. You also died to a Dawnbreaker that's T-posing, dude. That's the worst feel about that. Is now more transition with the Fiend's Gate.
Yeah, but they come into a calling and into a Static Storm. Maybe this is not where they want to be. They go in with the Pierce the Veil, loads of damage coming in from the Muerta, and they will be able to kill every single person that showed up to this mid lane. Oh no. Oh no. That's not what they wanted. And to make matters even worse, not Kidaro does. He's like, hey, sweet. A Fiend's Gate. Thanks. Just going to take this to the bottom lane.
Yeah, them initiating onto a Muerta with not the required magic damage is rough. Is very, very rough. You just saw how easy it was for low skill. He just pops Pierce the Veil and he basically becomes immune to damage and pretty much is able to just blow them to pieces. You can see with the Fiend's Gate here, they thought it was a good fight, but they all walk directly into the Callie. They all get silenced and they all get caught by the Static Storm as well. And they just get blown to pieces. There's just not enough damage in the world to be able to get through that if you don't have any of the magical damage. It is all just physical damage, and just being caught by the silencers is not what you want here for Into the Breach. So being a little overzealous and being punished by PuckChamp.
We also got to see the interaction
as well.
Yeah, they are. Roshan won't take that. Will take a while to forward, not that long. We also saw the interaction you were talking about of Disruptor into the Starbreaker, where she Starbreak away from the Glimpse, but Glimpse outlasts how long Starbreaker lost the cost. So the magic immunity, even though she did pick up the Aghanim shot, doesn't protect her. Well, well, well. Aegis now in the hands of PuckChamp. We've been clamoring for this Muerta hero. Finally get to see what it's like in a professional environment. We've seen a couple of the games. Not all of them have gone in the Muerta's favor, but then you have scenarios like this where you're like, yeah, hero's kind of busted. She has BKB, D-Lance, Maelstrom, and an Aegis now. Rolling into the Eye of Skadi, which will help immensely versus the mass regen they have on the side of ITB. And Sweden Strong already has access to a Young Spirit Vessel. They can't glimpse like Shibe that far. And they're really careful about taking this fight. We saw the other day, I forget which team it was, that took a fight up top. And they dove way too far and they got dramatically punished. They probably were watching that replay and they're like, yeah, let's not do that, boys.
Yeah, that was the series we did yesterday, right?
Yeah, day before. Yeah, on Friday.
Oh, day before. Yeah, day before. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. They actually really lost that game too as well, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
That was the D2 Hostile series.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah.
Tier 2 gone. ITB now playing a little bit more on the back foot. Respect might... Is he dead? No, he didn't get changed, so he's fine. So what's the game plan here on the side of ITB? What do we do next? Are we just waiting for BKBs on Supreme and potentially on Wataka before we try and make something happen on the map?
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. Just means that mitigates a little bit of the damage that the Muerta does. It means you're able to deal with Static Storm. Means you'll be able to deal with the portal as well. But they can really be the low amount of presence we're going to hear until these BKBs are ready. Just because they've got the blink days so readily available. They're going to try and fight the Tormentor, it seems.
They might just lose their lives with this one. Need to be careful about their positioning.
Supreme Tormentor stole it.
Doesn't have BKB. Nice hook shot onto Sweden Strong with the Solar Guardian following up. Can they get a quick kill here? And they do on Kodo. What's the follow-up as Muerta goes in? BKB after the death shot and the Pierce the Veil. My god, 3 heroes dead. Duel going out onto the techies as well as Emergent loses his life. Shibe, he dark drifted in. Not where he wants to be though. And Kidaro, fortunately for Shibe, he does not have access to the glimpse. But they have enough damage to take down the Tormentor. So Joey's Tormentor is dead. They get the free shot and they're porting back to their side of the map. So they can get the other shot too if they need it. Oh my goodness. Low skill on this Muerta. My god.
He's going to try and kill Zibe here as well.
Nah, Shibe should be fine.
Oh, he missed the dead shot.
Yeah. The dead shot just hits the edge of the cliff face instead of actually hitting the hero first. Feels a little bit bad. Might have wanted to maybe try angle it the other way so it bounces back into the Underlord, but it doesn't. It is what it is. Okay.
He's still able to hold on to the Aegis here, but man, the amount of damage that low skill did just standing there and delivering, and this is the reason why that people, a lot of the players when they were talking about this Muerta hero, that she needed to have some changes going into captain's mode. She does a lot of damage if she's just able to just stand there and deliver, right? We talked about Drows being untouched in fights. We talked about snipers. Muerta just has burst damage. That's the scary part. Is it just like you stand in front of her and she just pops Pierce the Veil and is able to just unleash on people, she just tears them to shreds. And it takes you, 1 to 2 seconds to try and figure out where she is, trying to figure out what's going on. And by that time, she's done enough damage to be able to force you to have to rethink how you want to take the rest of this team fight, because you're about half HP. And if you're not getting like a hook shot into like another follow-up stud, she's going to have a free time, man.
Oh god, they found the duel onto Supreme. Doesn't have BKB. He got Spirit Vessel out on top of him. They tried with the Rod of Atos, but it's not going to be good enough. They get the quick kill there. Otaka sitting in the trees, thought about popping Solar Guardian, but realized very quickly that if I go in there, I am 100% dead. So it's very different from the previous game we saw from Shebe. Lei seems to be quite unconcerned with actually getting duel damage. It's all about just making sure his team has the lockdown necessary for these kills.
Yeah, and that's really the one thing that they missed in game number 1, right, for PuckChamp, was the fact that they just didn't have somebody who was able to blink in and start a fight for them, whether it was a good start or a bad start. It didn't really matter. They just didn't have anybody who could start at all. And now if you're able to have this body on the front line that can start a fight for you, Disruptor can find a good glimpse, your Muerta's able to figure out where her positioning needs to be. And also with your Ember Spirit, he's able to go in the back and cause chaos. And now it's hard for Into the Breach, who rely quite heavily on their clockwork and their techies to find fights for them. And especially because they went for this most Rod of Atos build, they just don't have their tanky heroes anymore. Like, their clocks had to get the pipe. Like, Zibe now they have 2 pipes. Okay, they have 2 pipes.
Oh, do they have 2 pipes?
Yeah, they have 2 pipes.
I mean, there's worse things in life than 2 pipes, I guess, but it's still a lot of gold being committed on the clockwork, especially. I mean, if the DP wasn't going to buy Greaves, why didn't the Underlord buy Greaves instead? Greaves Crimson Guard while the clockwork buys pipe. That would have been so nice. Mid lane though, they're jumping this Death Prophet. This time it is a dual victory for Lays, and they're also going to be going on to Immersion, bringing him down behind the tier 2 tower. Some dual damage. Death Prophet still doesn't have BKB. Has literally no other items outside of the bots and the Rod of Atos. So they actually don't feel any compunction to turn tail. Despite not having the agency of Fluke, they feel strong enough to just heads up siege the tier 3 tower.
Yep. And how they're supposed to fight for Into the Breach? I mean, clock into like a Solar Guardian. Yeah, maybe, but as soon as they don't have BKBs, all it takes is Kadara to just sit back and drop a Static Storm on wherever the Solar Guardian's going to come, and it's pretty easily, and it's pretty telegraphed as well. So, I mean, this is a very hard game for them to try and initiate onto the Muerta, especially because they initiate onto her, she pops BKB, she pops Pierce the Veil, and she does damage and kills everybody else.
They got Shebe. He's going to die, definitely. Got himself dueled up by Lays, and Laurenop will be here to finish him off. Lay's the one on the killing spree. The Muerta did get left behind, and she's walking underneath an observer ward. Low skill is actually relatively far from the squad. Unfortunately, Clockwork, the one hero to start this fight now, he's not yet in position. He does find the positioning now, but the allies are en route. We'll get the stun out thanks to this young techies, but BKB gets popped with the Static Storm. They're just going to try and turn this fight. With Pierce the Veil, does she have enough damage? Not to save the life of Lays just yet, but the rest of the team will gladly allow Lays to sacrifice himself for them at the DP. She might get sacrificed now too, as they drop the Spirit Vessel on her, and Laurenop able to get the finish. Kidara will die for this, but you'll take it, as they had to buy back on Shebe to ensure that death. Sweet and Strong, not enabled to escape as he gets caught out by the Clockwork. With the Rod of Atos, the chase down from the Starbreaker, as well as the Blast Off. It is enough to clean up Sweet and Strong. But that was a buyback, that's a death on the Death Prophet. That was them jumping a supposedly alone low skill and still not finding the kill. However, given how things have been going these last 2 minutes, they will definitely take this fight.
Yeah, I feel like they got, I feel like they got a lot of gold out of that, and they did. So basically a 3,000 gold swing now towards Into the Breach. Yes, they did have to use the buyback onto their Underlord, but he's an Underlord. He's going to be okay with just farming out for a little bit longer here. Would have loved to have been able to convert that kill onto the Muerta, but they just didn't have the damage. And you can see their issue is as soon as she pops BKB and Pierce the Veil, like, how do you deal with her? And that's the kind of question about this Muerta hero is like, how do you deal with BKB Pierce the Veil? Yeah. Like, if you overcommit and she turns around and does the damage to you, if she pops BKB Pierce the Veil, you've probably used something to be able to force her to do that. And then how do you disengage if she goes some of these, you know, more mobility items, right? And you're playing into like a disruptor, like it is a very hard conundrum to try and deal with. And I think a lot of these teams are just much more happy with banning her out for now, because not many people have that much. Like, she has been out for a month, but she hasn't been out for a month on this patch. And I think this patch really enables her to play a lot better, because BKB is only 50% magic resist. You know, her int gives her a lot of magic resist herself, so she's not susceptible to like magic burst. Like, there's a lot changed in 7.33, and this hero was, I still felt like pretty volatile in the previous patch. And now with the extra stuff that's designed to make her better, she could just be, you know, one of those god tier carry heroes that not many people know how to play against.
She's doing very well right now, rounding the corner on getting a Daedalus. Laurenov also having a vastly improved performance. Mage Slayer, BKB Kaya almost has the SNK and the Shivas. In fact, everybody on the side of PuckChamp has oodles more gold than they could have dreamt of having in game 1. So now it's all about how do they respond to this on the side of ITB. We are getting at the point where we had some new neutral items as well. Let's see what they've got. They got a Elven Tunic, a Titan Sliver, and some Seri robes sitting on the side of ITB. They haven't popped the other two just yet. Alright, that's okay. And Muerta has a Dandelion Amulet. Woo! That's nice. Defiant Shell on LC. Jeez. Between those two items plus the Pavise that was just brought up by this Raptor, that's a very significant amount of damage block that they have available to them.
Yeah, and we already touched on the fact that it's hard for them to deal the damage in the first place. And now they have to try and deal with all this damage block and all these barriers. So once these tier 4s do come up, if there's like a Martyr's plate, then it's going to be even harder for them to deal with that. No, they get caught out in the feeds gate, man. They
got gated into the wrong place. Duel onto the clockwork. He's going to get brought down. They might have some damage onto Lana, but not nearly enough. Otaka on the outskirts of the fight, trying to escape here, getting right-clicked down by a low skill. Low skill is going to find the kill. Glimpse back onto Supreme as well. Caught inside the kinetic field. Kidaro's just been a menace this game. Here jumps in, lays. Low skill gets a triple kill though, with some gunslinger procs luckily coming at the right time. ITB lose 4. They went in with that Fiend's Gate. That gate took you places you did not want to go. It's actually a full team wipe. That's a buyback on immersion, and it's still not enough to save that fight.
Yeah, it was a little too hard, and unfortunately I think this little experiment from Into the Breach has failed. They try to have an idea of dealing with the Muerta here. They've got the Dawnbreaker to try and give that physical damage burst, try and catch her out, but their lanes just didn't go well enough. I don't think low skill is 11, 0, and 13 right now on the Muerta, so he's kind of untouchable. Barriers to be able to live in these fights as well, and Lauren a really good game. So Into the Breach, this game really didn't work out for Heavy going into 3. They're looking to try and get rid of this Muerta again.
Yep. I mean, they had a game in the bag. They're like, let's see if we can deal with it. That fight demonstrates that you cannot. Now, you get a glimpse back onto immersion during the duel. Don't get the duel kill, but they should be able to kill the Techies hero. No buyback available for immersion. The lane of Rax top will be brought down in its entirety. They're going to come through middle and finish off the melee Rax here after the push that they started a couple minutes ago. In that last fight, we also saw what happens as the BKB duration goes down. Kinetic field just gets way better. They're going to need a BKB on Supreme right now. He's getting jumped on. They popped that BKB, but can they even get a turnaround off the back of this? They do kill Kidaro. Otaka has to make the full-throated jump though to make that happen. Did manage to hold on to the BKB in its entirety, so it still has access to it. But can they go for more though? Jumping in onto low skill, getting the Starbreaker off. Low skill still has Aegis for another 2.5 minutes. There's the duel coming in. Lays finds Otaka. They kill Otaka. Laurenov also able to make the back end jump. Well, now that he knows the BKB is down, goes for this kill onto Respect. They don't even need to get more buildings. ITB see the writing on the wall. They see the power of the Muerta, and they tap out. GG, well played is called. We are going to a game 3, Fluke. And the best part about this is that Goblin Techies.